Kia tu ngā kororo te tangata o te nota, hone, mo te ahu o te awa nei. E mihi kauna ki a rātou e mau kaha mai rāno te whakatika o tēnei tino take. E ki tatu tātou te tīmata a babma, a rātou mā, e whai atu a muri a tēnei. Tai atu i te wānei, e ki tatu te kāharau i roti a tātou, i a koe e tuku, tēnā koe, me te tuahine ana nāe. Engari, i tino mihi atu ki toku hoa, ki te wahine rangatira a Lady Raiha, o tōna kaharawa. A hako e kore e kone, e mohi atu tātou, e tinana tia tōna take, tōna kaha, i roti a te pere nei. Reire tēnā tātou. Mr. Speaker, Lady Raiha Mahuta said at Hopu, nearing the end of the Select Committee, being the last speaker, she suggested that the delivery to the Select Committee was like a stage set for a Shakespearean play. And she pontificated about Shylock chasing his pound of flesh. And she said it felt like that Shylock would chase the pound of flesh. And I've listened to the ramblings of the ACT Party today, and it tends to smack a bit about King Lear and the script about much to do about nothing. That's what it sounds like. And it's interesting how they've utilised the actions of Princess Tapuia. It wasn't just about conscription, why she was chasing the beginning of a settlement. It was because of what the British did to them, and took the gunboats up the river and set to on every corner. And down the front end, as history will tell you, and the better parts of Michael King's writings, suggested, along with Parihaka, it was one of the worst instances, not too dissimilar to Ngātapa in Tairāwhiti, of setting to on a people unarmed. And they were a people who chased and embellished Pai Mārire. And it's interesting listening to Mr. Garrett's quantifying. He's a bit of a mathematical wizard. And he suggested that at the time 5,000 was worth now 1 million. 3 million. I got the figures wrong. £5,000. And he's gone on and waxed lyrical about gaps in the summaries up to the finality of this bill. And he's talked a whole lot of rubbish, because he's left a hang of a lot of things out about the crude profit made by the British farmers. And you would not have to be a rocket scientist or a historian to understand that the British weren't silly, Mr. Speaker. It's no accident that they saw the flat rolling vale land of up there where you live, in Waikato and in Taranaki. No accident. They knew what they were doing. And what they did do with the subtle debauchery is put asunder cultural practice that was very, very strong. And so when you're starting to quantify and align figures with figures and trying to make excuses that was the size of it and it should be this amount of money now, there's a whole lot of rubbish. Because this isn't just about money. This is about Māoris who stand up when they speak on the marae and say, ko toku maunga ko titirangi, ko toku awa ko uawa, ko toku iwi ko ngaitahu. They always embellish the signature statement of where their mountaintop is by their river. Every one of them. Whether they're from up Karetu, whether they're from down Mangatuna, or whether they're from Hauraki. They always do that. And it is a significance that it has continued today, that people do that. And conscription and the scaremongering about weakening democracy is a farce. And I've got to say that to Mr. Boscawen, because what the heck is going on with ECANs down there? Why not 4 Māori seats in Auckland? That would be a nice touch. And I do agree with the spokesperson from the Greens who suggests,
The Honourable
Mr. Speaker,
Kura Horomia.
who suggests that we could progress in harmony. Let's not preach and teach about nationhood and then we bugger off and use redneck tactics. Outrageous. Let's take the leadership from the chair of the Māori Select Committee, who put a brave face on and a bold effort in ensuring that the Waikato River Authority was real.
Was he there at ANZAC?
Was real. Everybody has a vision and strategy. And the joint management and those issues built up by Gordon, there were great efforts in this journey. And one should be proud that this country is taking a turn to understand and imbue something that is real partnership, that you don't have to go offshore. That Labor started it and we supported at the end. And we commend the Minister for doing that. We certainly do. And we don't do that lightly. And the cultural activities are as important as the monetary return. And for whatever one may say, this isn't just about money. And I would suggest to my two parliamentary colleagues, take a lesson off Māori. Wallow in the energy that will come about after the settlement is signed off. Wallow in what Māoridom do know about kotahitanga. How can you sit there and say that this is wrong? You know, cultural connections. The Catholics still do things they were doing 5,000 years ago.
Oh, no.
And I'm not very Christian because you do get jumbled. My mum was a Mormon, my dad was a Ringatu, and my nanny brought me up was the Church of England. But nobody says anything about that. They still skip around the maypole. Nobody says anything about that. They still have Christmas. They still have Christmas. They're too mean to have Christmas. They still have that. And it's no different. We are ensuring that those cultural activities, that those customary issues passed on by our ancestors stand the test of time. And this bill certainly does that, Mr. Speaker. It does. And I know this is a great bill. This would be one of the better bits of legislation done in this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
David Garrett.